Man, I don't know about you, Dubs, but I really want to break out some Wu-Tang Clan right about now.
It's appropriate.
Welcome back to Comic Universe, the only nerd-centric thing you need in your life. And today, on Panel to Panel, we're going to be talking about an Image comic. We're finally doing some Image. And this book is called Son of Shaolin, which actually comes from to us from our mutual friend, Mount Vernon Kid. Chris, if you're watching this, thank you again.
Absolutely, thank you very much.
Yeah.
And we'll also leave a link in the bottom below to check out his YouTube page. He's kind of what brought our friendship together to some degree as well.
Yeah, he was like the one who united all the nerd clans together.
Yeah, exactly. And as well as Jay, that's how I met Dr. J on the which you guys are familiar with as well.
If it weren't for Chris, we wouldn't be here now.
Exactly. So again, Chris, thank you very much for the book and for everything else.
Yeah.
So, Son of Shaolin, who wrote it?
It's the name I'm afraid I might butcher, so
it's okay.
This comic comes from Jay Longino.
That's what I think too.
And the artwork is done by Kanan White, with colors by Diego Rodriguez and Simon Boland on lettering. This comic is awesome. This is a graphic novel, so if you want to read, this isn't like you have to go get issues. These are going to come out as just graphic novels in books, and this is the first book, which I figured would be it's not it's a really self-contained story though.
Right. It could end here, and we never get anything more, and you understand what the story is and where the story would go if there was more. You know.
Yeah. So the story is about this kid named Kyrie, who is approached by an elderly man saying, "I knew your dad, and someone murdered him, and I've got to train you because the guy who murdered him is coming after you because your bloodline has a certain power, and if this person takes it, he's going to have the abilities of all of life and death over it,
basically the weather and
the elements." Yeah, so this comic pretty much is if you mixed Avatar: The Last Airbender, Highlander, and Iron Fist with Last Dragon, you get this.
Show enough.
Yeah, I know I made a Wu-Tang Clan joke earlier, but honestly, it fits.
No, really, it does. You could literally read this comic book to any place, put that CD in, put any Wu-Tang Clan CD in, and you could just vibe to the CD to reading that book. It really does.
It also helps that RZA from Wu-Tang Clan actually really liked this book, as did Patton Oswalt. The name got away from me. Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah, RZA and Method Man are huge comic book fans. If you guys didn't know, they're borderline nerd material. Don't tell them I said that, but seriously, they really are. Meth is, even been spotted on Comic Book Men shopping. So, but this book here, man, this is freaking fantastic. Literally, I found myself drawn in from page 1, panel 1. The artwork is great. It's like he said, it's really graphic. So basically, if you take the forms of different forms of martial arts, tiger style, crane style, each style. The Grand Master, I guess, of that style is handed down from the 5 elders, if you will.
The 5 people who mastered these kung fu art. Right. And they each have their own special powers. Right. And the last one that this person called the Red Fist is hunting, because he's been going around the world hunting down all these bloodlines and taking these abilities, and all he needs left is the tiger power.
Right. And when you kill the predecessor, if you will, the person who had it, you then are now the inheritor. Where their symbol would actually show up on your forearm, essentially.
Yeah. So, that's where the Highlander idea, where there can only be one.
Exactly. So he's hunting around, knocking off all the previous masters and obtaining their power. So he has 4 out of the 5, and he's hunting down
the last one.
But
however, when he kills him, he turns out the man's estranged son gets that power. Now he's hunting him down. The character of Kyrie he's very likable. He's very street smart. And he just wants to be an artist, and he doesn't want any of this.
He's one of those kids, like you said, he's a free spirit. He's had some trouble in his life. He's got a few, lack of a better term, daddy issues. But he never knew his father. He's grown up on the streets. He's got a good core group of friends that watch his back. And slowly but surely, Harlem is being retaken over, if you will, basically with crime.
Because, as it turns out, his dad was this secret hero called the Harlem Tiger.
Right.
And I think it's interesting that we have a superhero comic that's the superheroes treated like a myth, like early Batman.
Right, yeah, which I thought was pretty cool too. Also made me think that it'd be kind of cool we could even get a post of this, if you will, like the story of how the Tiger got there.
Which I actually, like, now that you say it, like, I want, like, a prequel to, like, following the Harlem Tiger.
Guys, if you hear anything, sorry, sounds like someone's getting carjacked outside. It's just a car alarm, probably. One of the tourists, we live in the Orlando area, one of the tourists probably bumped a rent-a-car or something like that. Yeah. So, apologize tourists. Ahead of time. Ruining our video, don't they know how important this is? No, but what's really awesome about this book is it feels like you're watching a movie, and this apparently is going to become a movie.
Yeah, it is going to be a movie.
Which is a great idea.
Which right from the get-go, I was reading this, and I was like, this is going to be a movie. I looked it up, sure enough, it is going to, like, there is talk for a movie series, I think on Netflix, if I'm not mistaken.
Which is fine, because, they have some hits and misses, but Netflix is always worth a gander, so I'll be alright with it. But what's really, really cool about this is there's some twists and turns that you may see coming, but you also may not see coming. And I'm not going to spoil them for you, but there's a good twist by the end of the comic that you're just like, okay, this is kind of some serious messed up shit, pardon my expression, to be a part of. And by the end of it all, okay, you kind of get a feeling of the character has grown so much that he has realized the fault in all of this. Like, the whole idea of what's going down, okay, is not wrong. And he becomes a bigger man. He doesn't feel that he has to kill to become the master, if you will.
Yeah. Man, that is really, like...
Yeah, guys, I'm really sorry again for the sound.
Yeah, we can't control everything.
Outside world, yeah.
Yeah.
So any final thoughts on it? This is going to be a kind of quick review, I guess, because we don't want to really spoil, because some of the best parts are the twists.
Yeah. The one thing I will say that I really dig the art, it's really much like David Finch, but a little more cleaner, like a little more brighter, if that makes any sense. And this comic is not, this isn't like a comic you'd give to your kid, because there is some really bloody scenes in here, but not like overly violent.
Right, I would agree. I mean, thinking about it too, there's some, for all the pros that it has, I could see some people looking at this as being a little...
Are you serious? 3 times.
A little stereotypical. In some of the storytelling, it's so often when you get an urban story being told to you, and especially since the popularity of the Wu-Tang Clan, that you get somewhat of an Asian flair to it. So I can see some people going and not enjoying it as much. I personally don't mind that. I dig it. I'm deep into the hip-hop culture. I'm a hip-hop head myself. I love everything about it. It is really urban feeling. I'm from an urban city myself. I don't currently live in a very big urban city, but a lot of wilderness here. But, I definitely kind of, part of me felt what he was going through. Also myself, I never really knew my father. To me, it was never that big of a deal as it was to him. But I can kind of understand some of the things that he feels. So, there are definitely some good elements to it as well. But yeah, I mean, it's just him dealing with the idea of who his father was, and then finding out his father was this great hero, but then was never around for him. It's kind of, how do you take that? Like, do you want to honor him, and are you proud of him for being this great hero? Or do you hold on to that anger that he was never there for you and your family? Yeah. It's kind of a struggle within himself, and you kind of read that. The only other problem I would have with the book is, geez,
oh my God!
Sorry, guys. Is the fact that some of the montage everything seems to kind of go really quick. Basically, within his first month, he thinks he's ready, goes back, gets the snot kicked out of him. Then he seems to go away for maybe another month, and then within 2 months, he was able to defeat this guy who's killed,
all these masters.
All these masters. That was my only beef with it. Was everything seemed to go so fast.
Well, that was the other thing. In his relationship just is like his supporting cast is just kind of there. I mean, even the love interest is like
you feel that there's a background between him and his boy.
Yeah.
I forget the character's name, but there we're fine. But I'm a little with you. But then again, that's part of the stereotype.
5 times. What?
Part of the stereotype of this comic. Again, with the love interest that sometimes you see in some of these urban movies and things like that, where she likes him, he's cute because he's the nice kid. He's not like every other, tough guy in the neighborhood. Okay, and he tries to defend her honor. Kind of, even a movie like The Karate Kid kind of followed that same trope, trying to defend her honor and things like that. And that just kind of gives her the admiration for him and love for him. And everything kind of stems from that. But, there's really no build to their relationship.
Yeah.
Which, again, it might be a slight knot to it as well. But overall, I mean, the action is great. The kung fu is great.
The
characterizations is great. At least for the main character and his partner, or his master, if you will.
Yeah.
Done really well. And the protagonist, again, a little stereotypical. But even the protagonist, you really do understand that, now that his dad, the tiger, isn't there anymore.
Yeah.
He's now, this is my city. I run this place, and funny enough, his name is Warlord.
Yeah.
And this is my town. Nothing goes through. I own everything, and now, this kid, after being trained, comes back and it's like, you don't know nothing, dude.
Yeah.
And pretty well.
Yeah, and
makes him fool.
And the twist at the end is really like, wow.
Yeah. Again, a part of me thought it in the beginning, not in the beginning, but halfway through, I thought of the twist. But I didn't think as deep into it, and I was like, oh, no, it's probably not going to be like that. He's just Mr. Miyagi and everything like that. But it's pretty cool what happens at the end. I don't want to give anything away. But you'll see when you guys read it for yourselves. Definitely check it out. And hopefully if the does become a freaking movie, that we get the same type of twist, if not a better one.
Yeah. So, that's pretty much all I had to say. Anything final thoughts? Other than, this is a buy.
This is definitely a buy. Chris, thank you so much. This is definitely going to go into my pull list moving forward. Like, I'm going to keep my eye out for things like this. And if you've read it, check, let us know what you thought. And if you haven't, check it out, guys. And definitely come back and let us know. Because we definitely want this to keep going and to spread the word. And,
Yeah, I also want to point out that I did mention we were going to talk about Infinity, but honestly, guys, that book is freaking. There's so much to cover in that event.
Yeah, we'll still get around to it,
but not like on for Infinity War, because it's just
might come just after, but we'll get around to it. But this is really just so. Again, with our friend sending this to us, we just wanted to pay him a thank you and on how big this was to us. The fact that he would even send this for us is, he lives in New York and we live in Florida. So, Chris, man, thank you again, man. It really means a lot that you did that for, a bunch of us here. And, guys, definitely check out his channel. He's the Omni-Geek High Lord of the North, if you will. He does a lot of different reaction videos, and he covers a lot of nerd culture. He has fights, fantasy fights that he does as well, and he does a lot of reviews, too.
And no car alarms.
And hopefully no car alarms. Because we all know, if you want car alarms, you come to Comic Universe for that, guys. My God. Sorry again, guys. And we're too far into the video just to redo it.
Yeah, I'm like, we got other videos to do.
We just gotta power through. And what else would a comic video or Comic Universe video be without some hiccups here and there, especially since we're just starting. So
yeah,
it's all fun, I guess. Although I may have to go down and talk to this guy prior to our next recording.
Yeah, we're gonna come back and be like, just clean up blood off the knuckles.
Yeah, exactly. If you come back and we're a little beat up, you'll know what happened. There was a scuffle.
Yeah, it was like, so car alarms fixed.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, fixed.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, Universe, definitely check it out. Let us know, please, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on the video. Don't forget we have that contest for Action Comics 1000,
where you guys can get a possibility of getting one of these 4 beautiful covers.
Right. We're going to kind of hammer that home just because we want to make sure everyone understands how big of a deal this really is. Like, it's 1,000 issues. No other comic has ever done that. Yes, there's a lot of variant issues. So, and I'm not saying to collect it for the fact that it's going to be worth bajillion dollars, but it is a part of history. You should own it. If you don't got it, if it wasn't in your pull list, this is how to get it.
Yeah.
So definitely check out our videos on all the rules for it. And guys, until next time.
See you once more in the universe.